Hi, Professor Roy. So I have a question about every problem on this board. Just kidding. Just this one. This is such a tricky problem, I actually constructed it physically and got some confusing experimental results. So I just wanted to ask. Essentially, I'm presuming, even though this top wire is not grounded, I'm presuming it's at 0 volts because it has no potential. So I consider that this voltage source, this being at 0 volts, drops across a 1 volt diode, meaning that after this node would then be, by the red notation, at 19 volts for is equal to V out. And then in that situation, the VB would be equal, is equal to 10 volts. This is 10 volts and 19 volts. And so that wouldn't be able to drop because there's that higher voltage is stopping current from flowing. And in that case, VO should be 19, and this diode should not be on. And this is a similar situation when they are near the same value. So I'm going to put this one as 19 volts. And when it is 19 volts, which is an analog of the circuit I've built over there, you have, once again, consider this to be 0. Then you have this 20 volts, and this drops across the 1 volt. So you have this at 19 volts. And you have, once again, you have 19 volts and 19 volts. And that does not, 19 minus 19 is 0, which is not enough for this diode to activate, meaning that once again you would just have 19 volts as V out. However, when I constructed this circuit and I picked values that were both twice as large, so one was twice as large as the other, and that ones that were near each other, and I have all of those experimental values written down, something really strange happened. And what's really strange is that this is this circuit that I have on the small whiteboard and the circuit on the breadboard. And I'll show, so those are all the experimental values, but observe one voltage source is at 4.84 volts. The other one is at 4.37 volts, which is scaled approximately to 19 and 20. As I activate one voltage source, and this one represents the 4.84 one, this diode lights up. And as I activate the other voltage, or the other voltage source, which is representing the 4.37 volts, this one lights up as well. And that is not similar to what I determined mathematically over there. I'm really confused in this solution, and if we have a problem on two diodes entering a node, I'm confused as to what to do in that situation. And the experimental values produced even further confusing results. Not only did both of them turn on in the closed case, but in the open case, the resulting voltage at this node was 3.3 volts, meaning that it was not a summation of 4.84 and 4.37, even when you can, and that's just mind-boggling to me, and I am really confused because I'm unsure how the open voltage could reach that. And then mostly and this all stems from that first assumption that I told you, that this node is at 0 volts when this is an open circuit. And my experimental values are really confusing, and my math is telling me a different answer than my experiment, and I was hoping that you could help Katie and Grayson and I out. Thank you kindly.